What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. So today I want to do a video. I don't know that anybody has ever talked about this topic, but it has to do with retaliation in prison. And what I mean by that is, I'm gonna give you an example. So, contrary to what a lot of the haters like to say about my case, a lot of guys that don't like me, they like to use the cops and the DA's version of my case, right? And they say that I killed an innocent man, right? But the reality is, I didn't have any right to kill anybody. Nobody does, right? But my victim was from my neighborhood. He was from a clique that didn't exist anymore. There's only a few dudes that tried to start that clique. They were called the Westside Boys. And my victim was actually 10 years older than me. And what happened was, we didn't recognize these dudes. They were older dudes, didn't hang out with us. But they came to us 3 times. And the first time they came, when they were pulling out, it was the second time. The first time they pulled down, then the second time they came, we're at the on the corner, and they actually yelled out a rival neighborhood. So then we're like, all right, these are older cats from that neighborhood. Okay, that's when we strapped up. They came the third time on foot with weapons, and it is what it is. Now, going back to the victim being from my neighborhood. He had family from my neighborhood. And when I was in the county jail, I had heard that one of my homeboys that I really liked a lot was tripping, right? I was like, what? That fool's tripping? Like, he knows me. And so I had sent word to him. I said, hey, Holmes, I heard you're tripping on that shit, eh? He said, nah, I ain't tripping. And I said, okay, yeah, because if you know what happened, they came to the neighborhood, Holmes. They were gangbanging. We were gangbanging. We got them. They could have killed one of us that night. We won, and that's that, right? This is the way I used to talk back then about this incident. And, and he was like, nah, I get it, Holmes. You didn't know, this and that. And I said, yeah, I don't know. It's not one of those situations where I could be like, oh, wait a minute, you're my homeboy's cousin? Ah, never mind, Holmes. No, they were there. Their mind was made up. They came 3 times, and then the outcome is what it is. Now, I don't know how it is for blacks. I don't know how it is for whites. I don't know how it is for others and northerners. So I'm only speaking for the southerners as far as the southerners program. Now, in the California Department of Corrections, you are not allowed, and in the county jail, if you're a southerner, if someone kills your homeboy, and he lands right there with you, you are not allowed to retaliate. Once you enter a jail in California, your neighborhood doesn't even matter anymore. You are now representing something bigger than your neighborhood and bigger than you. Your neighborhood squabbles don't mean shit, because now the focus is on your people, your faction, establishing safety and security of your people and your faction, and your barrio skirmishes on the streets. They're irrelevant. They're not inside those prisons, right? Inside those jails. That being said, if one of your family members is killed and the killer winds up in the same yard with you on a prison yard, that's different. However, you don't get to just, that vato killed my fucking family member, and pick up a knife and go and stab him in the back or not give him a fair chance. Doesn't work like that. See, again, because your neighborhood, that was gangbanging stuff, right? Or it was whatever it was. And that has no meaning on the prison yard. You're a good dude, he's a good dude. If you feel like, hey, Holmes, this Vato, he killed a family member of mine, there's no way I can be on the yard with him, then you approach the leadership and you let them know, like, look, Holmes, this Vato just got here. He's in orientation. Because usually when dudes are going to do it, they know, like, oh, this Vato just landed. They're going to go to whoever's in charge and going to say, hey, this Vato killed a family member of mine, eh? Like, I want that. And they're going to say, okay, you know what time it is, though, right? Yeah. However, we got to do it. Okay. When that dude comes out, they're going to let him know, like, hey, look, Holmes, you killed so-and-so, right? Be like, yeah, I got busted for that. Like, yeah, well, his primo's here. Or his brother's here. You know, his cousin or his brother, they're here. And they say they need that. You know, they want to go ahead and handle that. And that Vato's going to say, okay. Or he's going to say, okay, you never know. They could PC up. But if he makes it out to the yard and he says, yeah, I'm with it. Because he can't say no. He's going to say, yeah, I'm with it. Then it goes into, these dudes are either going to, on their own. See, that no longer becomes, that is not a yard issue. That's a personal issue. But because there's two solid dudes, they have to at least let it be known, like, hey, this is a personal, this is what it is. Nobody can step in and say, no, it can't happen. Because that has nothing to do with anyone else on the yard. That's a personal issue. So what they're going to decide to do is either they're going to meet on the yard in a designated area of the yard with knives and go at it, or they're going to decide to sell up, go on a sale with knives and deal with it that way. That's just the way it is in California. You know, and this goes back to yesterday's video, how California has a lot of politics. They do, but the politics dictate everything. That's why it cracks me up when I do a video, like when I do my reactions on Wes Watson, and people from out of state have the audacity to tell me, you weren't on the yard with him. How can you speak on it? Because he's in a California prison, even though he wasn't. He was in Oklahoma and these other prisons, but they're dictated by California politics. How he's supposed to conduct himself, how everyone is supposed to conduct themselves, it's all in the politics. So going back to, in California, we do have a lot of politics in the prisons. But imagine if they didn't have this rule where your neighborhood beefs on the streets don't mean shit in prison. People would be on lockdown all the time over something that happened 500 miles away. People would be losing money. People would be losing visits. And it's because people are trying to gangbang in prison. And then also you have to factor in, what if there's a dude, the dude is solid as a rock. He's been putting in work. He's been bouncing around from the shoe, different yards, but he's from a neighborhood that's very small. Then he lands on a yard and he has rivals there, and he's got like 10 rivals from different neighborhoods. And then they decide they want to gangbang. How fair is that to him? This dude's putting in work, doing all the things that are necessary, going above and beyond. He's dedicated himself to a certain way of living behind the walls. But because there's 10 rivals, he's probably not going to survive the yard he just landed on. So, again, that's just a glimpse at the way that California prison politics are beneficial. You know, I saw in the comments someone was saying, I'd rather do my time in California because I would just shut up and do what I'm told. That's a way to do time, but people think that way, right? But the reality is, a lot of people will think that, and then they get in, and then they get comfortable, and then they think like, oh, I got it all figured out. No, you don't. No, you don't. Things are just calm right now. You start bringing attention to yourself because you think you figured out how to do time, and you really haven't, then things go sideways for you. But anyways, I'm going to keep this short. It's the 1st of August. We're starting a new month, a new push. Just got off the phone with Gunner right before this video. We are going to start doing more lives. We're going to start doing more topic related lives. Let's see how that goes. But we are going to, I looked at my last 10 days with my 3 channels. The last 10 days, I put out 20, almost 30 videos. So I've been grinding. I know Gunner's probably put out at least 30 because he always puts out more content than me. So just know that we are really trying to put stuff out there for you guys. Make sure you check the notifications on all of my channels. Dubs, this one, Dubs V, Dub S, Dubess, and Dub S World. That's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out of here.